Hello, hello, welcome back. DMG Jim here, reading some more. Keep on reading, keep on trucking. Getting through the Dungeon Master's Guide, the 2024 RTFM version of the Dungeon Master's Guide, audiobook mode. Continuing along with the Free City of Greyhawk, the Greyhawk section of the campaign chapter. The next video is going to be Beyond the City Walls. This is focused on. You gotta walk in front of the mic, cat. Damn. This is going to be focused on the region surrounding Greyhawk, assuming that a DM is going to use Greyhawk as their base of operations moving into campaign mode. These are some of the locations and details about the stuff that's around the city that will allow for adventure stuff. Brief descriptions, brief stuff. Let's get into it. So first we have our map, City of Greyhawk and its environs. Greyhawk centered in the middle of it, and keyed locations for some of the other locations around it. This is a surrounding area. This isn't an expansive look at the continent. This is simply the region around the city. So let's go. The City of Greyhawk and Environs map shows the lands around the Free City of Greyhawk. Locations on the map are presented below as places where adventures can happen. Blackfriar Manor, typical of several manor houses and keeps scattered across the plains of Greyhawk. Blackfriar Manor was founded by a distinguished cavalry commander. Its stable is the most famous source of fast, durable war horses across the breadth of the Flanius, drawing shrewd shoppers from Greyhawk and beyond. The manor house is surrounded by farms, extensive pasture lands, and a small village with a mill, taverns, a smithy, and a saddlery. Blackstone is our next location. See mining towns below. Blackwall Keep, one of two new keeps built to keep an eye on the Mist Marsh. Blackwall Keep is a strong stone tower with a horse corral surrounded by a wooden stockade. Soldiers from Greyhawk garrison the keep and venture out from it to patrol the northern edge of the swamps. The Cairn Hills, hidden among the hills north and east of the city, are ancient tombs and half-buried ruins that attract adventurers, bandits, cultists of elemental evil, and monsters. Castle Greyhawk. Travelers who follow the Sellington River westward from the city come to a stone bridge. From there, they must travel several miles northeast to reach the ruins of Castle Greyhawk. Built by the Archmage Zagiga Green and abandoned with his demise, the ruins and the many-leveled dungeon below are a powerful draw to adventurers who seek wealth, glory, and magical might. All manners of marvels are said to fill the ruins, including numerous portals to other planes. Diamond Lake. See mining towns below. Elmshire. This sleepy town with a sizable halfling population lies on the shores of the Near Div. Fishing boats crowd the wharves. The town folk welcome peaceful visitors, particularly adventurers who can help fend off monsters, bandits, and cults of elemental evil lurking in the Cairn Hills. The Erie Villages. The villages of High Erie and Erie Bend are populated largely by farmers who send most of their produce for sale in Greyhawk. The two villages are both dominated by two prominent families, the Fairheights and the Witherwinds. These families have a complicated history, including abundant instances of feudings and intermarriages, as well as a catalog of lesser slights and favors. Sounds like the fucking Capulets and the Tybalts and all that shit there going on, man. Ford Keep. A ferry crossing allows traffic from Greyhawk and regions to the south to cross the Sellington River at its first major bend. The Lord Mayor of Greyhawk built Ford Keep here to protect the crossing from bandits. The Gorge of the Sellington. Soaring cliffs flank the Sellington River for nearly 10 miles. Spanning this gorge 800 feet above the river is a stone arch bridge sculpted to look like the extension of natural bedrock. The bridge allows easy travel between Greyhawk and Grossgettergrottrell. As a defensive measure, the bridge's gnome architects hid an iron pin somewhere in the bridge. If this pin is removed, the entire structure collapses. Grosset Grottel, an industrious community of gnome miners and foragers, live in this network of hewn tunnels and natural caverns. The gnomes trade gemstones and rare fungi in exchange for help repelling monsters from the Underdark. Marsh Keep. Like Blackwall Keep, Marsh Keep is newly built and watches over the Mist Marsh. The Dwarf Walk Road leads east from the tower to Graysmere, a quarrying town with a large population of dwarves. Mining towns. Blackstone, Diamond Lake, and Steaming Springs are small mining towns governed and protected by the Free City of Greyhawk. The city frequently dispatches adventurers to quell threats to the town's miners and mining operations, which of late includes agents of Aya's intent on destabilizing the city's economy. The Mist Marsh. This vast swamp holds the half-sunken ruins of an ancient city that is now shrouded by fog and guarded by a family of black dragons. Will-o-wisps lure prey to the ruins where doom awaits. Peculiar Manor. Like other manors in the plains of Greyhawk, Peculiar Manor was established by a now-forgotten hero of an ancient war. However, a few years ago, it was purchased by retired adventurers from Ekbir, Sanjara, and Chetna Motion. They were purchased by retired adventurers from Ekbir. One of them being Sanjara, and the other is Chetna. The Motions brew an extraordinary ale they called Old Peculiar, which lends its names to the manor. Steaming Springs, see the mining towns above. Stone Bridge, a small garrison in the fort of Stone Bridge, keeps careful watch over river traffic approaching Greyhawk. Stone Fort, a garrison of soldiers from Greyhawk, watches over the southern near Div from the high battlements of Stone Fort. The fort also guards a gravel quarry. Talkle Castle. This blasted ruin stands on a rocky promontory above near Div. A dead magic zone encompasses most of the ruin, and monsters guard whatever secrets the ancient castle and its dungeons might hold. Twoford. The small village of Twoford relies on river trade to supply its inns, smithies, and merchants. Ore from mining towns is also traded here. It is easier to transport it by river than overland. So that's the end of the Beyond the City Walls section. I'm going to try to do something here, and we'll see if it works out. Let me get to Greyhawk here. Give me a second. Sorry. Beyond the City Walls. Boop. So I'm going to put you over here on the right side. Of course, you're going to be a pain in my butt. I need you to go left, and then we're going to bring you back up over here on the right. Now we've got the map and the key up real quick, just so we can kind of, these last few minutes with my commentary, just trying to it does help when you're looking at locations, when you're building out maps, looking at a region, to have both the map and the key up if you can help it. Depending on your screen size, your resources, or if you're using pen and paper and print books, it may not be as easy to have the map available, but it is certainly helpful. So each location that we looked at in the region surrounding Greyhawk beyond the city walls is also represented on the map to the right. Not a big region. Our hexes is 1 hex equals 5 miles. So if you think that the average group can travel 30 miles per day, maybe longer on a road, this isn't a huge region. We're 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. 60-ish miles from Twoford, one of the major towns that they talk about as far as a trading town. We are about 30 miles from Diamond Lake or Blackstone or some of the smaller mining towns to get to Greyhawk. So the city of Greyhawk and its environs map, everything seems to be placed a day to 2 days out of Greyhawk City, which allows you for some exploration, some overland travel. The descriptions that we're looking at for the stuff, this is enough for you to decide if you want to make it matter or not. If Elmshire sounds fun to have a bunch of halflings selling some old Toby and hiring the party, build on that. If you really don't feel like messing with eerie villages, you have enough information to know about them, and that's all. This is where your world building and your use of a published setting becomes optional. It's on the map, and if you like the ideas that are presented in the summary, then you build your adventures around there. The ideas each of these locations hopefully inspired you with an opportunity, with an idea, a hook to get your players involved, or an adventure idea, or a way to extend a campaign from point A to point B to point C. This is what the collection of locations are for. If you're running and you're telling your players as a dungeon master, I'm running a sandbox adventure. I'm allowing your players to make your decisions to go where they want. And you put them on a map like this, you've got to expect them to go where they want to go. Even if you said, man, there's some stuff going on over in Ford Keep that could attract some adventurers. And your players say, no, I want to go to Diamond Lake. At least you have some information available in your regional outlay to describe what's going on in Diamond Lake, to make it something a little bit bigger than it needs to be. So yeah, a location list and a map work hand in hand to give you the tools to expand the adventure outside of a city, expand the adventure outside of my starting point, and go from there. Similar to what they talked about in Chapter 5, building your world. If you decided to build a homebrew world from the beginning, Start with your normal location and then work outwards from there as the adventure dictates. This is demonstrating that principle. We put a lot of effort into the castle in the city of Greyhawk. We've detailed that really well, and that's where we're starting our adventures. But we want to build outward from there, and we're building outwards in some general strokes, large brush strokes, man, just kind of getting the area there. And then as our players go to specific locations, then we kind of zoom back in and fill in the details based on the descriptions that we gave ourselves to begin with, okay? Again, I am a Greyhawk fan. This section it's okay. I mean, there's some timeline changes. There's some stuff that I'm not necessarily a fan of, but you know what? It's not going to affect my Greyhawk, so it really doesn't matter. But again, keep in mind, as a new DM or as a veteran DM, we are simply trying to demonstrate the principles that we've been discussing so far in the book. The writers are using Greyhawk as an established setting to show the principles at work, to show the idea of world building, adventure, hooks, conflicts, situations, all of these, how they manifest as a living, functioning setting. Cool? We've got one more section left in Greyhawk, then we get to chapter 6. This is going to be the next one's going to be pretty lengthy. It's the Gazetteer. We're actually talking about the world. So we were super specific with the city of Greyhawk, man. Got into a lot of good detail about the city of Greyhawk. We're looking at the region around Greyhawk in broader strokes, and then we're going to look at the world at large in broad strokes as well. Start small, build next, build big. That's what they're trying to demonstrate here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hopefully you're enjoying this series. Likes, follows, subscribes, all the cool things are appreciated. Jump on in. If you're really into Greyhawk, join us over on Twitch on Wednesdays. I spend a lot. Wednesdays is dedicated to the Greyhawk as a setting. So join me over on Twitch if you want to learn more about this cool place. Or pick up some books and learn on your own. Or just take what's here and make it your own, man. Well, you're not going to go wrong with anything. But above all else, I appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us. Give me some comments. Let me know what you think. More importantly, come back for the next episode in this series. We'll see you soon.